Well, it's not game day for your Lions football team, but we do get to have a chat with head coach Brian Glesing about this past season and everything Lions football. Coach, thanks for meeting with me today.
Great to be here.
Now that the football state championships are over, the 2023 football season is officially over. Coach, at the beginning of the year, you said that one of your main goals for the team was to get better every day. Do you think you met this goal, and why?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we did. I think if you looked at our football team from the time we stepped foot in game one or the scrimmage way back in August, and then compare that to what we were doing there in late October, I think it was pretty obvious that we got better each game. Sometimes the results weren't showing that, but in the end we were able to get some victories there. The last 4 to 5 weeks of the season were pretty exciting for our football team, and our team got better and got a lot more competitive, understood maybe our philosophy and concepts that we were trying to do a lot better, and we just got better each day. We did, and at the end of the season we were very competitive.
What were some of the other goals that your team met that you were proud of?
Well, I think the biggest thing was getting everything established in our football program. As I said, from day one, everybody was a rookie this year. All the players, whether you were a senior or whether you were a freshman, you were a rookie on our football team because everything was new, whether that was the terminology, the offense, the defense, special teams, how we run the weight room, how we run our conditioning program, just everything was new. And not only was it new for our players, it was new for my assistant coaches as well. So I think the big thing that we were able to do was get everything established, get everything the way we want it. So then as time goes on, now we just build off that.
What are areas that your team still needs to improve in?
Well, I think we need to improve just about in every facet of the game. I think probably the biggest thing that we need to do, and we're and this is a year-round thing, is focus on our strength and conditioning. We have got to be stronger, faster, quicker, bigger, to compete on Friday nights. That's probably the number one thing in high school football, especially at our level. Where you can gain an advantage by being stronger. You have to, and there were some games this year where we got pushed around a little bit, and we've got to get that fixed, and that's what we're focused on right now. I think that's probably the biggest thing, because if you do that, then all the other things will fall in place. Running the ball, stopping the run, taking care of the ball, all those things go into place when you have a stronger, more physical, conditioned football team.
Coming into this year, you had to not only learn about your players, but you had to learn things about your coaching staff. What were some of the strengths that your coaches brought to the team?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you bring a lot of different ideas, a lot of different things, a lot of people with different backgrounds in football that come in and bring in new ideas and ways to handle things, ways to run drills, things like that. I think that's one of the I've always said when you have six people working together is more powerful than just one person, that they can bring different ideas, different concepts, different personalities to help coach our football team, and that's what's needed to make sure that everything is we're doing everything the way it needs to be done and efficiently.
We have talked a lot about the team as a whole, but let's look at individual accomplishments. What were some of the individual accomplishments that stood out in your mind this past season?
Well, I think our probably our all-conference players. Evan Bowling, as a senior, probably really stood out to me the most. Is probably our most did offensively, defensively, and nothing said more than that than his plays he made in the last game of the season that we got. We ended up losing to Scottsburg, but his block punt, scoop and score, and then his defensively, he was our leading tackler. So he stood out, and he's an all-conference player. And then probably our other two are our honorable mention all-conference. Joel Altemeyer on our offensive and defensive lines made a lot of great, really got better as the season went along. Understood our defense a lot. And then Noah Dalton, mainly for offense and defense again. But when we moved him to linebacker there in the middle of the season, to the middle of the season. Really helped our defense, and those three guys stood out. But there's a lot of other guys that I'm missing that stood out. But those guys, just because they got named all conference and honorable mention all conference, I'll mention those guys.
What is the next phase from here in the development of the team?
Yeah, our biggest thing right now is strength and conditioning. Between now and pretty much, well, it's pretty much year round as far as our strength and conditioning goes. But it's a big focus right now. Between now and the spring. In the spring, we'll get out a little bit more out on the field or in the gym and do some more, play timing and things like that, routes and stuff like that. Not a lot, but just enough that keeps us focused as we go into the summer. So our biggest thing is strength and conditioning, making sure that we are at our best come August. We want to be, as I tell our kids, we want to be in the best physical shape of our lives come August 1st next year.
You guys had a couple of really close games this year, like Eastern and Scottsburg. What's it going to take to win those real close games?
Yeah, those things are, we want to win those close games. Obviously, we won the West Washington game. That was a fairly close game. But those two games in particular, we got to get stronger. As the game, especially the Scottsburg game, as the game wore on, they kind of pushed us around a little bit. We had a shot in overtime, but they kind of dominated us a little bit in overtime. But I was proud of the way we got to that point. Now we got to get over that hump. So our kids need to make that investment. So when it's 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, we're going to get the job done.
What are your expectations for next season?
I think a winning season is definitely a goal for us. I think we're something we're still, we're always striving for. We need to finish, in the top half of the conference. It would be a goal as well. We're still going to be a pretty young football team next year. We graduate some seniors this year, but our senior class next year won't be very big either. So we're still going to be pretty young, but I think we're going to be a much physical, tougher football team. So I think a winning season is a goal of ours.
So we have focused on your team. Let's talk about you. How was your first year in Salem?
Well, I'm starting to figure things out. That's always, the key is when you take a new job, it takes about, especially the teaching aspect, it takes about a semester to get everything figured out. So I've got some plans over Christmas break when we get to our second semester to do things a little bit differently as far as my classroom goes. But so everything's going great. Everyone's been very supportive. Everyone's been very helpful. The faculty here, the administration, and parents, everybody's been very helpful, and it's been a great start to my career here.
So what surprised you about your small community of Salem?
Just the turnout for games. I mean, there's the passion that there are for athletics in the school in general. We had some big crowds. We had a lot of people care, and that's a big thing. You go to some communities, and there's people that don't have this, and so it's very exciting about the school spirit, the community spirit, and everybody helping each other. There's a lot of great programs in town as far as community service type things that people do, and it's a community where everyone helps each other.
So for the last time this year, any final thoughts, Coach Glesing, for Lions Nation?
Well, we're working hard in the off season. We're going to get a little bit better for next year, and we tell our kids to play other sports. We want them to play basketball, wrestle, swim, or baseball, track, golf, whatever it is in the spring. We want our kids to be well-rounded, so when football season comes around, they're ready to play football.
Thank you for speaking with me today, Coach, and we wish you all the best in the future. This has been Nick Ingram with Coach Glesing, and we can't wait to see 2024 Lions football. See you later, Lion Nation.